me, and it's almost exhausting, isn't it? So hello, my name is John, I teach confident communication. This session is leveling up your pitching and presenting skills in a talk that's imaginatively titled How to Level Up Your Pitching and Presenting Skills, and that's me, that's Jon Torrens. So I'm going to talk to you for precisely 5 minutes. There might be time at the end for some questions. And a quick introduction. Yes, that's me in front of Ely Cathedral. I live in Ely near Cambridge. Quick introduction. I did video games design for about 15 years in total. I worked at places like Argonauts, Sony Cambridge, and Criterion. Yes. But I've also done a lot of stand-up comedy. And about 5 years ago, I thought I've seen enough people having a dreadful time giving presentations. They're hating it. The audience is hating it. Wait a minute. Even though I've invested all that time and it's a waste of time, now I can use those skills and help people, and that's what I do. And people pay for it, so it must be worthwhile. So I'm going to talk about quite a few things today. Big list, the strap is a massive list, huge list of things. You're going to get huge amount of benefit. Here they come. So I'm going to talk to you about writing. Very important, you can't sell rubbish. You need to create great material. Then I'm going to talk to you about delivery. You've got to be able to sell this stuff. You've got to convey emotion. That's it. Those are the two things I'm going to talk about. That's the whole thing. But it's very important that you allocate enough time to each of those processes. I've worked with people who actually enjoy all the interaction and love it, and therefore they don't prepare. And I've worked with people who love all the slides and they get lost in it, and they go down the rabbit hole, and then they don't bother to rehearse and deliver their stuff. So let's get right into it. Why are you even giving the talk? What's the point? What's the benefit? Consider what your audience needs to know. It's easy to fall into that mode and think, well, I've been asked to speak about my subject, I will just go and deliver what I do. I will just talk about my thing. But think about what are the problems you can solve. What do they need to know? What do they need to hear? And if you can, do some research and find out what those specific things that they want to know about. Stories are vital. Why? That is a non-rhetorical question. I know, it's the kind of crazy thing that can happen when I speak. Why are stories important? Why are they vital in a great pitch?
Generate empathy.
Bingo! 20 points to Gryffindor. Well done, sir. Now, are you okay with that? Some people get annoyed.
No, that's fine.
With it. And incidentally, I haven't now just established a point system. There are no prizes. There's no hierarchy. But yes, there's a connection. I work with academics as well, and lots of tech companies, and it's making that experience real. It's talking about characters experiencing something. You could say, we've got this product, we've got this amazing game, we've got this thing, you can do this, you can do this, it'll be wonderful. But if you say, 6 months ago we were in this situation, and we encountered this dreadful problem, and we were in a really bad place, then you've kind of got my interest. I'm thinking, oh, this is good, some drama, some intrigue. I mean, that's what a great story is after all, isn't it? You've got characters, you've got people you can relate to, and then you mess them up, you put them into a horrible situation. It's not that I enjoy other people's misfortune, I do, but it's knowing that something good is coming, that you encountered this thing and you've dealt with it, because people want to work with genius, brilliant problem solvers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
It's not connected.
It's still not the Facebook thing, but you can come back if you like.
I just visited. They don't have their Facebook event and not.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome. This is wonderful. What a lovely story that was. It was great. Come in. It's the prodigal son.
Wonderful story.
I just, someone got up before I even spoke. I thought that's a bit rude. That's fine to come back. No, come and sit down in front. There's a few free seats there. But don't send them away. This was great. You come back.
Oh. Yeah. Well,
sorry.
Let it be. I'll listen to you with joy.
Yeah, fantastic.
Go for your pitch.
I'm so glad that I am second best when it came to the available talks. Okay.
Make yourself first best.
Impress me. there's no higher place. I'm just going to read this. So, keep it simple. That's what I've tried to do with this. I don't like to bombard people with information. If you've got this great idea, this great game, what's it about? What are the key things? You know, sometimes people will say, yeah, okay, we've got this world, we've got these characters, there's a city, and then this thing happened. I think that's not the story. I want the story of you and how the team progressed and what amazing things you're doing. If you get lost in the work, it's too much. You just need to know, it's this. You do this in the game. You get to do these things, and this is how you do them. Bingo, brilliant. Now I'm on board. Now I'm going to listen. So please keep it simple if you can. And rehearse. This is the killer. People don't go through the stuff. They write their great material. This is great. This works. I'll run through it in my head. Done deal. I've got this. And then what happens when they come to deliver it? They encounter problems with the tech with the wording that was weird, even though it looked great on the page, it makes no sense when they say it. Say the words out loud, speak, run through it, make it conversational, make it natural. Rehearse this stuff, encounter all the problems in the safe environment of wherever you're rehearsing. Not on the day itself, you go, oh, I wasn't expecting that, that's a bit weird. What should you do after you've rehearsed? Second non-rhetorical question. Come on, rehearse again. Bingo! This is amazing. If there were a point system, there is a point system. That's it, one done. And after that, what should you do? Come on, people. Someone just put a toe in the water. What should you do next?
Well, you should rehearse in front of other people.
So that's the third time we've done this. We've run through this a few times. Grab a coffee, sit and watch this pitch. Tell me what you think at the end. That feedback would be great. Because you're so buried in it, you don't understand. You'll miss those points. And that's the great feedback. You just go, why put that at the beginning? Ooh, yeah, that does make no sense. You know, what does this mean? You've used a phrase and no one understands it exactly. So, and also, of course, you're trying it out in front of some people. Now, they may be your trusted colleagues or friends, but it's in front of people. Another really good one in front of a video camera, because there's nothing more terrifying than a video camera, like a little GoPro on a stick, and a flashing red light. And I notice you've got a GoPro on a stick as well, somewhere. There it is, you see? I'm Professor X. I can rewind. So, that kind of thing can be terrifying as well. But of course, watch your back, and I can assure you, any discomfort you experience watching a recording of yourself is directly in proportion to the benefit you receive. So you watch it and go, oh my God, why do I sound like that? But these are the things you can correct, and you might notice you say a lot, all things that you can learn from. Okay, well done me, we're at the 7-minute mark, or 8-minute mark, I don't mess around. Right, delivery. You've created this great piece. It has a story, it has a structure. Welcome. Yes. Is that means I am? Is that Latin? I'm really where I'm going with this. I thought maybe it's the Iron Man, basically. That's where I was going. What does Punti mean then?
No. It's from Spain.
Right.
It's a name from Spain. No,
it's just a name from Spain. Back off Torrens. So's Torrens, you see. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so you want to sell it. Keep it natural, conversational. Just talk. I get concerned when people deliver a pitch or a presentation and it feels like they're trying too hard. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's going to be amazing. I just think, do you not believe in this? It's the real experts who just talk about their stuff. And they say, this is the next area I'm going to talk about. And it just feels relaxed. So get used to saying, when you rehearse it, try sitting down and chatting to someone rather than standing up in front of them. Have a chat. Keep a conversation. What is the other benefit of keeping a conversation? This is a safe environment.
The other people feel relaxed.
That's it. It's not, oh, now I'm pitching and you're listening and I have to try. It's a conversation. They feel relaxed and maybe they'll be happy enough to ask questions. But also, your syntax will be more concise, it will be neater and simpler. You'll be just using natural conversational words. You won't be saying, we're going to have this myriad of, you won't be using flowery speech. It'll just be natural, concise and neat and very simple. Okay, so first impression is very important. It is vital you make a great first impression. How do you make a great first impression?
Joke.
Sorry?
Joke. Make a joke.
Oh, what I heard was yo. That's all I heard. It was great. The sort of Scandinavian pronunciation of the word joke is yo. That's a good way. Let's face it. If you were introduced and you started off and you just went yo, I mean, it shows confidence. That's not bad. Smile, eye contact. This is me. This is what I'm going to talk about. Good. What do we infer from the smile? Yeah, this is much more two-way than you'd anticipate. If, let's say someone starts off, introduced, they smile, what might your instinct tell you?
You're a friendly person.
Yeah, a friendly person, or really scared. I think if you convey the idea that you're happy, I'd like to think an audience thinks, well, you're happy, you probably know what you're talking about, this probably won't be a waste of time. What would make a bad first impression?
If you look terrified.
Yeah, looking terrified. What about on the slides? What would maybe damage your credibility? Come Come on. Any kind of error. Any kind of error on the slide is going to damage your credibility, it's going to make you look like an idiot. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Fix it. Fix it in the moment. The room. The environment. This is an amazing room, so you may not notice this, but I always demand that when I give a talk, that I have 6 columns in a hexagonal arrangement and 50,000 tiles stuck to the ceiling in a square arrangement, a 1970s spaceship in front of the light. And these things, I mean, look, I can even put these some Blade Runner, these sort of weird deco, it's just weird, right? But if you can incorporate that into what you're talking about, sometimes there can be a little bit of magic there. Like this room, oh, this is good. There's just stuff, you know, you might need a wire brush, right? This is the kind of thing that's really handy. Or some wood dye, right? I mean, it's bizarre. Best graphic design ever. I'm going, it's not going to be good. Okay, so I'm spitballing, that's what I was trying to say. How can you use that room? Can you incorporate? Is there something that illustrates a point that you're making? If you don't care about this subject, why should your audience? That emotion that you could show might be something that's, doesn't have to be joy, it could be anger, it could be sadness, but if you can show that you care about this subject, then the audience can make a connection to the material through you. If it looks like it matters to you, I think that's so important. I would much rather watch someone who appears to know their subject. They know that they're game inside out, and they love it. I'd much rather watch them, even if they look a bit nervous, than some slick person. Do you know what I mean? There's that problem with the slick presenter. So maybe they're wearing, okay, let's say they're wearing like a shiny suit, they've got a shiny waistcoat, and they're doing everything right. They're engaging the audience, there's eye contact, they're smiling, they're using the environment, and they're engaging, they're doing everything right, but you hate their guts. Why is that?
There's a problem that you feel like you're not good enough.
It's, wow, okay, that was an insight I hadn't expected, that's fine. But it's just weird, it doesn't feel genuine. It just feels, I just guess it's creepy. And it doesn't feel like it's tailored to me. Whereas that person who is maybe a little bit uncomfortable speaking, but they love their stuff, I'll listen to them for hours. Really important. Okay, and then to sum up then, I'm going to sum up just those points, but I'm going to run through them quickly. So, consider why you're there. What's the point? What's the problem you can solve? Because it might be that you can pitch this brilliant idea in just a few minutes. Think of the story, think of the characters, think of that journey, how you've got to that point. What's your team? How do they interact with each other? What are the special skills that they have? Keep it simple. What I tend to find is I work with people and they'll say, I want to work on my delivery. We look at their slides, it turns out they've got 50 slides. If you've got a 10-minute slot, more than 5 slides is probably pushing it, unless maybe you're going through some art quickly. Simplify it, makes it easier for your audience to remember, easier for you to remember. Run through it. Full speed, full volume, don't stop for mistakes. Get used to stumbling over a word and recovering in the safety of wherever it is that you're rehearsing. Have a chat, smile, be a human being. Treat them like a human being, perhaps they'll interact with you in the same way, and perhaps they'll be more open. See if you can smile and make eye contact at the very beginning and say hello, just chat to them. If in that first second you gain their trust, everything else will be way easier. Use the room, use whatever you've got around you, and get familiar with the tech. So here, I've got a TV in front of me, I'm loving this, because it means I don't have to turn around and break eye contact with all of you and start pointing at stuff, which is rubbish. If there's a laptop, use that as a monitor, but if there's something here, you can use that as well. And finally, show that it matters. Show that this is important, that you love this stuff, and perhaps the audience will make a connection to that idea through you. That is precisely 15 minutes. I don't muck about. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Probably time for some questions if you have them.
Okay, and there's some things to look at as well. Yes, fire something at me that's vaguely relevant, and I will attempt to answer it. You're allowed to say nothing. Yes?
So for the first bit there, a lot of the time when I'm asked to come and talk, they don't give me really that much information about what it is that people already know, what they want. They just have this very vague thing of, oh, we want to hear about this thing, but I don't really know anything about the audience. And I try to ask, like, information. Do you have any tips of what to do in that situation?
What you might have to do, your audience might have a massive range of expertise and knowledge. So actually saying, do you play games? Do you like games? Are you aware of games? I think there's this concept. How much do you know? And quickly gauge what it is that they need from you. Because if it's, yes, I'm a gamer, fine, we're going to get straight into it. If it's, I'm from a finance company and I'm aware of match 3 games, then you're going to have to give a little bit more background. So I would ask them, I would test them and say, what is it that you need to know? Because you can leave people behind. If you start that picture and they think, oh, I don't know what this is about, they're not going to put their hand up because they don't look stupid. So I would ask them, and again, that's where the conversation can work. You're just chatting, you go, what does that mean then? And then you're showing that there's no hierarchy. I'm trying to get into photos of people taking pictures, sorry. Anything else?
Surely you should be able to adapt your talk depending on your audience.
But that's the idea. If you are super knowledgeable about your game, and you should be, the quicker you can get into that Q&A, the quicker the audience can guide you through everything that you know. Because the temptation is to include everything. And you can't give them everything, you just need to do that key stuff. And it may be they just want to know about the financial aspect, in which case you can jump to that. Yeah. Yes?
Tips on what to do when people don't ask questions at the end.
Right.
Because it's a cultural thing as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Like some countries, it's just...
Here's the thing. I have a bit of a problem with, and I know people do this a lot, is that questions slide at the end. That is not how you conclude. You conclude with, here's the amazing thing, here's why you should buy it, or whatever, here's why you should get involved, thank you. And then if questions are going to come, there'll be that rare, interesting thing at the end, rather than, is there I've seen people end with, and that's, I think, it's the end of my talk, so any questions? Like, that's their final line. And of course, in a British scenario, we're sitting there going, we enjoyed it, but we can't, I haven't got, please, someone say something, for the love of God, and it's horrible, right? And it could be that people have got it, you've nailed it, and they go, brilliant, we understood everything, yeah, we're happy, no questions. It's no gauge of how good the picture was if there's no questions. Although this has been amazing. Okay, cheers, thank you. Right. Oh, stop it. But no, carry on, that's not